you should really look at how Bitcoin has changed since it was split in half. Chamath Palihapitiya, a billionaire investor, explains why the price of Bitcoin tends to go up after it is split in half. 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 12 months, and 18 months after they were cut in half. And watch the whole video from today to hear Chamath talk about why a Bitcoin could be worth $500 million by 2025. Here's a quick look at the Bitcoin price for you. When you click subscribe to Altcoin Daily, you'll get one movie about crypto every day. Because Chamath says so, I'll help you understand this. In other words, there have been 2 rounds of halving. I also asked him to look at how the prices changed 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 12 months, and 18 months after the haircut. You can see that at first, when Bitcoin is halved, people are kind of rethinking what's going on and trying to figure it out. This is pretty much what I would say happens in the first month and the first 3 months as well. There are, however, crazy price increases that happen between 6 months and 1 year and 18 months after these events. That's what this page shows. 18 months after the first split, the price of Bitcoin went back up 45 times. It came back almost 28 times after the second half. And after the third half, it returned almost 8 times as much, which is a huge return in such a short time. Next page. To begin, keep in mind that the price of Bitcoin has gone up a lot after each halving, with most of the gains happening between 12 and 18 months after the event. This means that it's normal to see little to no price growth in the first 1 to 3 months, like it is now. Secondly, keep in mind that this chart is showing the price return after 18 months, not from cycle lows but from whatever the price was at the time of the BTC halving. Notice diminishing returns, and I wish Chamath would do a better job of pointing this out as he goes on. Next page. So if you put that on a graph, this is what it starts to show. How has the price changed after each of these half cycles? What's so cool about that? This is interesting because in addition to the halving, which should theoretically lead to some price appreciation based on history, we've also made Bitcoin available to the public through ETFs. This is something we talked about as my big prediction for 2024. These ETFs are really going to help Bitcoin cross the chasm and have its central key moment, right? You can use the averages to figure this out, but keep in mind that these are only trends and not predictions. First, I want to make it clear that this is not business advice. It's not advice about money. We just took these and used them to figure out how much Bitcoin is worth. To be clear, you're only doing rounds 2 and 3 on the next page. What could happen if you just took the average of the last few cycles? In this case, only the means of cycles 2 and 3. You start to see some deep respect for what they do. When I talked to Wences about this, he told me that many countries will never trust Bitcoin, even if they back it. This makes a lot of sense to me. The US may be one of those countries, but more and more will become dual currency. They will look at both their own currency and Bitcoin and say that both are necessary. For one, you'll use something like Bitcoin to buy random goods and services every day. For another, you'll use it to buy a permanent object that needs to have residual value. I also think that's a very strong idea. And this price chart shows that if this thing starts to appreciate at these rates, it will fully replace gold and become a way to buy and sell hard assets. And I think that when you combine that with people's worries about the dollar losing value, you start to see some really interesting things. The chance. I need to tell you some news about altcoins. Watch the whole video for today. But Chamath's point is that Bitcoin could reach more than $500,000 per coin by October 2025 if it follows the same price pattern as cycles 2 and 3. In other words, by October of next year, Bitcoin could reach at least $200,000 per coin and no more than $1,400,000 per coin. But this is where I disagree because, as I already said, taking the averages is not a more accurate way to look at this data, since it's clear that as an object gets bigger, its value goes down. Moving costs more money. It gets harder to move and understand why these benefits are decreasing. That being said, I think a 3 to 4x might be more accurate, but let's be safe and say 2x instead. It's twice as much as it was when Bitcoin last had a value, which was on April 20th, a few weeks ago. At that time, the price of 1 Bitcoin was about $65,000. In other words, just 2 times that amount would equal $130,000 per coin by October 2025. Chamath is betting 500,000 rupees on each coin using statistics. It seems like decreasing returns is the safer and more reasonable bet to me. To say it again, this is an ongoing story, so click subscribe to get one movie every day that will keep you up to date. and as cracks appear in the old system, Berkshire Hathaway's mistake on the New York Stock Exchange showed that it went bankrupt today. It was actually either the New York Stock Exchange or the info they were trying to load onto the platform that went wrong. Chainlink could fix the problem with the New York Stock Exchange today, since Berkshire Hathaway seems to be down 99%. It's also not the first time that the old method has been broken. For example, on March 18th, the Nasdaq had connectivity problems with its matching engine that stopped pre-market trading for 3 hours. A protocol like Chainlink could fix this by letting you pull data from one or more centralized oracles, since Chainlink offers a decentralized Oracle network solution. We have news about Ethereum too. I was shocked when ARK Invest decided not to list their spot Ethereum ETF. The SEC had just given the go-ahead for all spot Ethereum ETFs to be listed. Why would Cathie Wood take hers back now? Well, to quote directly, the spokesperson said, "At this time, ARK will not be moving forward with an Ethereum ETF. We will continue to look at efficient ways to give our investors exposure to this new technology in a way that unlocks its full benefits." Even though it's not really an answer, the idea is that Cathie Wood is waiting to get all the benefits because the SEC doesn't like staking and was only letting spot Ethereum ETFs work before. To give you an update on my crypto journey, I have been staking my AT protocol, and I just got my Bittenser Tau rewards, specifically 1.45 Tau for staking 8. Since one Bittenser is worth about $377 right now, my rewards add up to over $500 in Bittenser tokens. This is a thing because AE protocol is AI data infrastructure and 8 is the first Web3 Bittenser subnet. They're earning Bittenser and giving it to their stakers. One of the things I find so interesting about this is that, besides just earning coin, Bittenser is kind of the blue chip AI coin of the cycle. For me, the theory is that this limits the sell pressure on A8 because why would I sell this A8 that's earning me Bittenser and giving me ETH rewards when I could, to lower my risk, just sell the rewards and keep staking and earning? You can also join us for Bitcoin Nashville from July 25th to 27th. Use the code ALTCOINDAILY to get 10% off your ticket. The meeting is going to be amazing. Come hang out with us and click on the link below. I'll see you there.